More developments for downtown Oklahoma City, the university that plans to open a new school in the area.
And ladies, there's a new place to get your hair and nails done. We talked to John Paul DeJoria about the first Paul Mitchell school in Oklahoma.
Plus, she starred as Laura Ingalls in the popular TV show. Now she's taking that show to the stage. We talked to Melissa Gilbert about her role in Little House on the Prairie, the musical, next on NewsOK TV. This is NewsOK TV.
This is NewsOK TV.
Welcome to NewsOK TV. On NewsOK.com comes your living room television. I'm Dave Morris.
And I'm Angi Bruss. You know, there are a lot of new developments going on around downtown, from the Devon Tower to street renovations and the Academy of Music that just opened its doors.
And Angie, now there's news that another school could be moving into that area. It's Oklahoma City University. I spoke with Dr. Tom McDaniel as he talks about plans to possibly move the law school from 23rd and Blackwelder to Main Street. Hey, Morris with NewsOK outside here downtown Oklahoma City with OCU President Tom McDaniel. And sir, it's a little bit cold this morning. What are we doing at the corner of Main and Fred Jones Avenue?
Well, we're making an announcement today about signing a letter of intent to do something very exciting for OCU with a new partner of ours, Fred Jones Companies. And the idea is that we're going to explore the possibility of moving our law school downtown to be a part of all the exciting things that are happening here, and we're planning to do it in the building right behind us.
Ford Motor Company built this plant in 1916. My grandfather went to work here in 1918 as a time card keeper. Gravitated up to sales manager in 1921 and then started Fred Jones Ford dealerships in 1922. And it was a great moment in his life when, here at his first place in history as a job, he came back to buy this building in the 40s from Ford Motor Company and established Fred Jones Manufacturing and Fred Jones Distribution, which still is in this building today. The Model T plant was the idea of Henry Ford. Henry Ford wrote to Thomas Edison to see why he should build a plant here, and Henry Ford wrote back to Edison, they have plenty of energy, a great workforce, all the water you could ever need, and this would be a plant that could work for centuries to come. So with that, he decided if Thomas Edison and Henry Ford agreed to put a plant here, this should be a plant for a long time to come.
The law school currently is on the campus at OCU at 23rd and Blackwelder and has been for a while. Why the move?
Well, there are several things, and one of the things that it does is give us an opportunity to have a bigger facility, and we would be planning on spending in the neighborhood of $30 million on this building. So there would be plenty of parking. It would bring our students downtown where the legal community is, where the courthouses are, give them more opportunity for internships, and give us what we really believe will be a world-class facility for our students.
Every year we've received an inquiry as to turn this building into a professional enterprise. It is too special for us. We had three criteria on developing this location. Number one, that it remain in the Fred Jones family. Number two, that it be an economic development engine for Oklahoma City, and certainly a law school with a lot of kids coming into downtown handles that, and it be with an institution that we know and are familiar with, and my grandmother was on the board of Oklahoma City University for many years, so it fulfills all the criteria. It's great for the community, it's great for downtown, it anchors downtown, it will be the front door of downtown, and we think this satisfies all of our desires.
This is a large building behind us, sir. How
Yes.
much of this property are you talking about?
Well, we're talking about the building behind us and all of the space that is contiguous to it. There will be some buildings that are associated with it that will be torn down and make into parking. But it's 189,000 square feet, and we plan to use it all.
We knew that this building would work for a university situation, and we talked to some universities around Oklahoma City and realized it did. It would work. It requires historic tax credits, and it requires a rehab of the inside, but the outside is built in great structure and in great form. So we went to talk to several universities. Oklahoma City University realized that they have a library on one end of campus and their school building on the other end of campus. This gave them the chance to roll it all together and put one major university law school together. And also, they're close to the courthouse and they're close to their clients. And so this worked out, I think, beautifully for OCU as well. There is a trend in putting med schools and law schools in downtown environments. Look at Charlotte, North Carolina, look at some others. And I think it's great that in Oklahoma City for the future, you've got the doctor's bags anchoring the east side of Oklahoma City downtown, and now the lawyer's bags anchoring the west side of downtown Oklahoma City. And hopefully other schools and other music bags will fill in between, or other cultural events from other universities.
How much renovation and what sort of a time frame might we be looking at?
Well, probably we're just starting the process with architects, and we'll put out an RFP, but my guess would be it would be in the 2 to 3 year range before we had it ready for occupancy.
All right, makes sense. Tom, thank you very much for your time today. Congratulations, exciting news.
It is exciting news for OCU, and I think for downtown Oklahoma City, so thank you.
Downtown Oklahoma City continues to grow. More coverage on this story from Steve Lackmeyer in the Oklahoman, and chances are on his blog at okccentral.com. You know, Angie, I graduated from OCU a long time ago, but it's very interesting and very cool to see how much the school is growing.
I bet that's exciting. Now, speaking of schools, a new cosmetology school is up and running in Norman. Imagine is the first Paul Mitchell school in Oklahoma, and we were there for the grand opening.
All right, I am here at Imagine, which is the first Paul Mitchell school in Oklahoma, and I'm here with John Paul, who obviously is the co-founder of the Paul Mitchell system. How exciting. Thank you so much for taking some time out.
Oh, you betcha. John Paul Mitchell Systems is very, very proud to be involved in this school. It's shall we say, it's a destiny for the city, because this school is going to produce some of the finest career-minded professional people you could ever imagine. There'll be nothing anywhere in the world that can compete with what will be produced out of this school. It's that good.
Okay, tell us your vision. Obviously, this isn't the first school. Now, this is the first school in Oklahoma, but not the first school that you've done. What is your vision for hairstylists?
Our vision is to have a hairstylist be able to go to a school and not only be able to get a license to pass the state board exam, but more important, how to be a really good hair cutter, great hair colorist, great hairstylist, and while you're in school, learn about merchandising, marketing, a little bit about business, and a culture of liking yourself and liking people around you. Some schools should be teaching, they never do. We teach that in our school.
We're just thrilled to be here and welcome not only our future professionals who have already started in our program, but also salon owners and school owners from around Oklahoma and beyond. Our future professionals are amazing. That's what we call our students, because we really believe that they are the future professionals of tomorrow. And all of our future professionals start in our core program, where they get an intense training to introduce them to the Paul Mitchell curriculum and welcome them onto the clinic floor. And one of the great components of our school system is that our future professionals actually perform public services as part of their practical training on our amazing clinic floor, and get that really hands-on experience and an education on how to create that ideal customer experience.
We've got a lot of excited people here tonight.
That we do.
Are you excited? Does it make you just kind of do you love that energy?
Oh, I love the energy beyond belief. You have that creative energy here, and your city's going to love this energy too, because every student here is going to be participating in fundraisers. It's part of the curriculum to make their city, state, and country a better place to live for all.
How exciting. John Paul, thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Oh, that is great. The Paul Mitchell system obviously is going to teach a lot of hairstylists some good knowledge for hair cutting and coloring, but it's also beneficial for the public, because we can go there to get our nails done, our hair done, and it's more affordable. So look at that.
Very cool.
Everybody
Good for Paul
benefits.
Mitchell. Good for everybody. I should take some advice to that. All right, big celebrations recently in Germany for the 20th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Thousands of tourists flocked to that city for the celebration, including the Oklahoman's Ed Kelly.
For the 5+ days we were there, Dave, the only time it rained was during the ceremony.
Coming up, he gives us a glimpse at the anniversary.
What we cooked up today is an Australian Wagyu with grades somewhere between a 9 and 11. And I don't know if you thought so, but I thought it was really tender.
And we head to Red Prime to taste a one-of-a-kind steak, coming up after the break.
If you're like me, you meet yourself coming and going. I need a way to stay informed that works with my lifestyle. That's what I get with digital delivery of the Oklahoman. It's fast and easy to use. I get all the news from the print edition, plus access to the past 7 days whenever, wherever I want. You can't beat it.
Your newspaper has evolved. Log on to thenewOklahoman.com to try digital delivery completely free for 15 days.
When you're as busy as I am, it's hard to keep up. Digital delivery of the Oklahoman keeps things simple.
Hello, this is Mary. I can help you.
Hi, my grandma wants to know how to record my show.
Press the guide button on the remote.
Abuelita, toca el botón guide.
Now find your show on the screen and press record.
Ahora busca el programa en la
pantalla.
Working hard for every smile. Another reason why Cox is your friend in the digital age.
And welcome back to NewsOK TV. You know, the Cold War ended 20 years ago, and Germany celebrated the big anniversary last week.
And the Oklahoman's editor, Ed Kelly, was there to take part in the festival. November 9th, 2009 marked the 20th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, and Ed Kelly, editor of the Oklahoman, was there. And in fact, he wrote an article in the Oklahoman recently about your trip, and you say Berlin can throw a respectable party. And they had pretty good reason to, right?
A great reason to, Dave. The fall of the Berlin Wall occurred November 9, 1989. I was working in Washington at the time for the Oklahoman, and I can remember the excitement not just in Germany, but from around the world, particularly behind what some of us used to call the Iron Curtain. And this really did change the course of history, not just for the 1990s, but beyond. And so my sons and I have two sons who live and work in Washington, D.C. We met in Washington and flew to Berlin to be there specifically for the anniversary party that occurred on November 9 of this year, exactly 20 years to the day in the evening that the wall fell.
You wrote that Berlin, to visitors, does little to hide its hideous past.
That's right. If you went to other places, I would imagine, say in China, in Russia, and other parts of the world that have had very controversial and in some cases a murderous past, you would not see the open way in which the Germans, and specifically people in Berlin, have presented themselves to the rest of the world. And they do nothing really to obscure history, not just with its communist past, which of course reigned there for approximately 40 years or so, but more importantly, its Nazi past from the 1930s and 40s. If you want to get a glimpse of what really went on in a very dark 20th century, much of it came from Germany, and the epicenter of that was Berlin. And today, early in the 21st century, tourists, visitors from America and beyond will get a very good sense of what happened there, thanks in great part to the openness of the German people.
A lot of us watched on November 9th recently the 20th anniversary and the big dominoes that they had falling. Where were you when all this partying was going on?
Well, my sons and I got there. The events were to start at 7:30 Berlin time. We got there about 4:30. Of the 5+ days we were there, Dave, the only time it rained was during the ceremony. So it was a long 5 hours or so. We wanted to get there in plenty of time to be in front of the Brandenburg Gate, the historic Brandenburg Gate that's been there for a couple of centuries, and where Ronald Reagan at one time asked or demanded that Mikhail Gorbachev, who once headed the Soviet Union, to tear down that wall. And eventually, of course, the wall did come down. But the dominoes were just right in front of us, probably 10, maybe 12 feet at the most away. They were large. They were made out of very heavy foam. They were approximately 6 feet tall and maybe 3 feet or so wide. There were several hundred of them. And they were done not just by Germans, but from people all over the world. For example, school children in Mexico made several of them. And during the hour and 45-minute ceremony on that particular night, on November 9, the dominoes were basically tumbled in 3 different waves. And the first wave was set off by Lech Walesa, the famous leader in Poland, who led the strike of the Gdansk shipyard in 1981, that a lot of historians say was really the first crack in the entire Iron Curtain. So Valesa was there, and he had the honor of pushing down the first set of dominoes. And the dominoes that were right in front of us, which were right in front of the Brandenburg Gate, they were the last things to fall, and as they fell, the fireworks went off atop the gate. So it was a pretty spectacular view.
First time to Berlin?
First time to Berlin.
Wow. And for your sons as well?
Yes, and for my sons as well.
Great trip, great experience, and in this case, a great reason to celebrate.
Great reason to celebrate. Americans, I think, at times take for granted their freedom. But as we all know, freedom really isn't free. And to see other people from other parts of the world, not just Europe, but others who came to Berlin to be a part of this and absorb part of it, was really something special. It truly was a trip of a lifetime for the three of us.
Great. Well, Ed Kelly, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it. And for more from Ed Kelly, he actually does a daily commentary on NewsOK every day.
That's true. Good stuff. Now, you've heard of Kobe beef, but what about Wagyu?
Wagyu originated and became famous because of the region Kobe, but all Wagyu beef is not necessarily Kobe beef.
Yes, I said that right. Dave Cathy samples this rare cut of beef at a local restaurant coming up next.
NewsOK, Oklahoma's website.
Dave, it is game time.
Angi, NewsOK is covering OU and OSU football from all the angles.
With photos, videos, live chats, blogs, and text alerts.
From coaches, players, predictions, and analysis.
With the most sports reporters covering the games.
So you'll never miss a thing.
Stay with NewsOK for your team's latest news.
Powered by the Oklahoman. NewsOK, Oklahoma's website.
NewsOK has a new mobile website, and it works with any internet-enabled cell phone. So you can take NewsOK with you anywhere. View the full articles, look at the photos, all while munching on lunch. And something I'm interested in, videos. Now you can watch NewsOK videos no matter where you roam. Smartphones, choose NewsOK Mobile.
Updated look, easy navigation, videos, NewsOK Mobile. Dial into NewsOK's award-winning content, now on your web-enabled cell phone. NewsOK, Oklahoma's website.
I look up to you for all the things you do. I hope to be like you someday soon.
Working hard for every smile. Another reason why Cox is your friend in the digital age.
Welcome back to NewsOK TV. Red Prime Steakhouse in downtown Oklahoma City offering a special new item every Wednesday.
That's right. The downtown restaurant is starting Wagyu Wednesday. It's a chance for diners to try out a special piece of Japanese beef. Dave Cathy shows us why this steak is a cut above the rest.
Wagyu Wednesdays is a new promotion we're starting here at Red Prime Steak. We're going to be featuring 3 to 4 Wagyu menu items every Wednesday in place of our daily specials. For a couple different reasons. One, we want to show Oklahomans or any of our guests that you can have a great, amazing Wagyu cut for all different price points. Well, Kobe is actually a location. It's a place in Japan, and it's where the breed of cattle, Wagyu, originated and became famous because of the region Kobe, but all Wagyu beef is not necessarily Kobe beef. Wagyu as a breed of cattle is genetically disposed to be more fatty, to have a higher concentration of fat. However, it's also a better fat for you. In the U.S., the USDA grades all of our beef on a scale of choice, select, or prime. In Japan, or with Wagyu beef, it's graded on a whole different scale. It's actually graded on a number scale. And if you were to try to correlate the two, to put this in perspective, the best cut of U.S. beef would be called prime, grades at about a 6 on this Japanese scale. The Wagyu breed starts at 6. So that's the worst cut of beef in the Wagyu realm, and it goes all the way up to 12. The way that beef is graded is based on a couple things, but chiefly it's the amount of marbling, which is the amount of fat that's riddled throughout the beef. And so if you ever get to look at a piece of meat and you look at it, you're going to see flecks of white running through it. How much flecks of white you see is how much marbling there is. And what that translates to is flavor. Fat is flavor. The more fat you got, the more flavorful the meat. If you're wanting to be able to experience Wagyu and not bust the wallet, you're going to have that option. So you're going to look for one of our lesser known cuts, not to be confused with worse, because they're not worse, lesser known to the market. which are going to be things like the flat iron and shoulder clod or hanging tender. But if you're wanting the best piece of meat out there, we've got that too. That's going to be your strip steak, your Wagyu beef tenderloin. What we cooked up today is an Australian Wagyu with grades somewhere between a 9 and 11, and I don't know if you thought so, but I thought it was really tender. The beef tenderloin was a choice grade. That's an American breed of cattle that's graded at choice. And then right next to that we had a strip steak, which was prime. Prime is kind of the high end of what the USDA grade beef at. And then as the main comparison on the far right, we had the Wagyu, Australian Wagyu, which was also a strip steak, so that you can have a direct comparison between the amount of marbling between the prime strip and a Wagyu strip.
Well, Angie, it's Wagyu Wednesday, which is right after Taco Tuesday.
What's going on?
And it's, it's quite the catchphrase on these local restaurants, but here's the bottom line. It is good food.
There you go. Exactly. Now coming up, she's been in front of the camera and on stage for more than 20 years. But something about her latest role had Melissa Gilbert a little nervous.
Singing was something that I always wanted to do and could do. My father was a singer, and I grew up around a household of singers and musicians. But I was always afraid to do it. It was like, it was so vulnerable for me to sing in front of an audience. It really scared me.
We talked to the actress about Little House on the Prairie, the musical, after the break.
Hello, this is Mary. I can help you.
Hi, my grandma wants to know how to record my show.
Press the guide button on the remote.
Abuelita, toca el botón guide.
Now find your show on the screen and press record.
Ahora busca el programa en la
pantalla.
Working hard for every smile. Another reason why Cox is your friend in the digital age.
NewsOK has a new mobile website, and it works with any internet-enabled cell phone. So you can take NewsOK with you anywhere. View the full articles, look at the photos, all while munching on lunch. And something I'm interested in, videos. Now you can watch NewsOK videos no matter where you roam. Smartphones, choose NewsOK Mobile.
Updated look, easy navigation, videos, NewsOK Mobile. Dial into NewsOK's award-winning content, now on your web-enabled cell phone. NewsOK, Oklahoma's website.
If you're like me, you meet yourself coming and going. I need a way to stay informed that works with my lifestyle. That's what I get with digital delivery of the Oklahoman. It's fast and easy to use. I get all the news from the print edition, plus access to the past 7 days whenever, wherever I want. You can't beat it.
Your newspaper has evolved. Log on to thenewOklahoman.com to try digital delivery completely free for 15 days.
When you're as busy as I am, it's hard to keep up. Digital delivery of the Oklahoman keeps things simple.
Welcome back to NewsOK TV. You know, Angie, the popular books and TV series The Little House on the Prairie is now hitting the stage as a musical.
I know it. And the show was right here in Oklahoma City at the Civic Center. I got a chance to sit down with Melissa Gilbert, who starred in the TV show as Laura Ingalls and is now playing the part of Ma.
To have The Little House on the Prairie, this is the 6th stop for this tour. It's a brand new tour. It's a brand new musical out on tour.
I'm here at the Civic Center Music Hall where Little House on the Prairie, the musical, is going to be happening from November 17th through November 22nd, which is brought to you by Celebrity Attractions. I'm here with Melissa Gilbert, who played Laura in the TV show, hit TV series in the 70s, and now she's playing Ma. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
All right, tell me about this musical, obviously singing. Is this your first singing role?
This is my first singing role. Singing was something that I always wanted to do and could do. My father was a singer, and I grew up around a household of singers and musicians, but I was always afraid to do it. It was like, it was so vulnerable for me to sing in front of an audience. It really scared me. I went to a vocal coach, and I came to the realization that I'm now 45 years old. And if I'm lucky, I'm halfway through. And if I don't stop challenging myself, if I don't stop challenging myself now, if I don't stop taking chances, I'm going to stop living now. And I don't want to be that person.
Tell us about the musical. People are obviously going to be thinking about the TV series. Is it similar? How does it compare?
The musical is very book-based. It's based on the last 4 books in the series. And although the television series was based on the book, because we were on for so long, we had to open it up. So there are a lot of characters in the series that were not actually really part of the Ingalls family, and this is very close to all of the things that really happened. And it takes place from the family's move to De Smet, so they go through the blizzard and Mary's blindness and Laura's coming of age and meeting and falling in love with Almanzo, and it ends with the wedding.
Now you're seeing someone else playing Laura. How is that for you? Is that kind of deja vu weird feeling?
It's not. I mean, at first it might have been kind of, I don't know, awkward, because I answered to the name Half Pint all the time because that was my nickname off camera. Wow. So it took some getting used to a couple of years ago when we started this process. But Cara Lindsay is she has so inhabited the role of Laura, and she has got such, there's so much, she's so different from me at that age. And also, I was 9 when it started, and I was playing her at that age. Cara is a young woman playing a young girl. So she's really had a bigger challenge than I have, and she has, I mean, when people see her in the show, they're just going to be amazed that she's able to go from 12 to 15, 16.
You have written a novel yourself?
My autobiography got published this past June. It's called Prairie Tale, a Memoir, and it actually comes out in paperback, I believe, on February 13th, and we're talking about the book on tape now, and it was on the New York Times bestseller list for 8 weeks, and it's being sold as part of the merchandise here, so people can pick it up at the theater if they want to read it. It's not for children, but it's definitely for parents, because it's the true story of my life, and, you know, my life's been complicated. My 14-year-old is in the show with me, plays a number of roles, but primarily Willie Olson, which was the role played by my brother Jonathan in the television series.
Oh, I know. It's all full circle.
I'm spinning, actually. It's more than that.
Well, this sounds wonderful, and obviously for more information, people can check out Celebrity Attractions website, and it's at the Civic Center Music Hall. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And I love that she is doing the show, the musical, with her 14-year-old son. He's actually in it with her. That's so cool.
Very cool. Very cool events coming to the Civic Center and around Oklahoma City and Tulsa. And our friend Wendy with WIMGO has a look at some more events taking place.
WIMGO! Hey Oklahoma, I'm Wendy with WIMGO. This week is full of events and things that you definitely need to check out. Speaking of Christmas, visit wimgo.com/Christmas Club, and you and 6 of your friends could each win a $100 gift card, just in time to complete or start your holiday shopping. We're still giving away tickets to the Billy Joel and Elton John concert at Ford Center on November 25th. Log on to wimgo.com/face-to-face to enter for your chance to win the grand prize, which includes tickets to the show, dinner, and one-night hotel stay. 25 other people will each win a pair of tickets to the show. Visit wimgo.com for details on all of these events and much more happening throughout Oklahoma. I'm Wendy with WIMGO. Have a great week.
Get the most out of Oklahoma. Log on to wimgo.com.
It's all on WIMGO.
So you can catch all of these videos and plenty more online 24/7 at newsok.com.
And we will also be back with our show next week.